Okay, welcome to the second video in the stereo speaker laser cut MDF tutorial. In the last video we was looking at how we were going to start creating some of these parts, and we started on the front, the back and the inner divider, or the inner rings. And so if I start to show and identify some of the parts we've done, so I can hide all my dividers, my retaining rings, and we've got and the central divider. So these are the parts that we started creating, although ours don't look this good yet. As you can see over here, ours are missing some details. So we do have the mortise holes on here, and both front and back for the divider points. We've got these holes here for the central divider, but we don't have these holes on here, and we don't have these gaps on here. The reason for that is this is where these two parts differ or are different. So let's go to our front inner ring first, and we're going to add those holes going around here, here and here for the speaker retaining ring. So these holes here, and that's going to match up with the speaker retaining ring that sits here and holds the speaker in place. So I'm going to start off with a new sketch. I'm going to right click on that surface, create sketch, and I'm going to work on one side. So I'm going to start off with some construction lines. My first construction line is going to be from the center going straight up vertically, and I can snap to the middle of that line for where the hole is there. And I can now move over to oh, and this needs to be a construction line, not a solid line, sorry. So I'm going to click on that line, construction, and I'm going to keep construction on. I'm going to draw some more lines now. I would like a line going over here, and I'm going to go past outside my existing bodies. I need a line going completely opposite it, so 180 degrees. So you can see there where it says 0 degrees, that's fine. Press that little tick, and then I need one more coming off, and this should be at 90 degrees. Now all we're going to do is we're going to press tab so that the 90 degrees is active, and we're going to type 90 and then press tab again. That's going to make sure it is definitely 90 degrees. And you can see here it's got a 90 degree angle built in. What we then need to do is use our dimension tool and ensure that, in fact, before we do that, sorry, exit, I'm going to right click on this construction line and press fix unfix. I don't want it moving. It shouldn't move as it's attached to a central point of a circle and the center point of that edge there, and they're on fixed bodies, but just to make sure it doesn't move. Now I'm going to use my dimension tool and go from here to there, and I want this to be 40 degrees. There we go. So I can exit out of that. I can come off of construction mode. Oh, no, I'm not going to keep construction mode on because I need one more point there, and that's going to be a circle from that same point there coming out, and I want the diameter of this to be 74. And there you go. You can see there where it overlaps, and it's going to overlap on this point here, and this point here. I can now come off construction, activate my circle tool, and on those three overlaps, I want a 4mm diameter hole. So C for circle is a shortcut. There we go. They match up nicely. And those three whole circles there can be mirrored. So to mirror that, we need a line to mirror it about. Construction line, center point to center point, and then mirror tool. Make sure construction is deselected. Select your three circles. One, oh no, not that one. 2, 3. If you do select something by mistake, you can just click on it again to deselect it. Mirror line, Center line there. And just double check, make sure that looks right. Yeah, they look identical. I'm happy with that. Press OK. Finish sketch. Extrude. And then click on your 6 holes. And then spin it around a bit and drag through. And we have those holes there. I'm going to save. After every significant thing you do, save your work. And always wait for it to upload or to finish before you move on to the next thing. So this is looking quite good. We've got those holes there. What we don't have is the countersink options here. And to achieve that, we're going to use a tool called chamfer. Now, the chamfer tool is going to put an angled edge on here, like a countersink. So we're going to go around and we're going to click on the edge on one side only. Now, a nuance I found with the chamfer tool is if I start typing in dimensions now for what I want the chamfer to be, I'll then have to create another selection set for the next one. So I'm not going to touch that until I've selected all 6 of these holes. There we go. So now they're all selected. I'm going to just press 1. This will give me a 1mm chamfer, meaning that the diagonal is 1mm out and 1mm down, 45 degrees. And you can see it represented here, 1mm across, 1mm down, equal distance. And you can play around with these if you want to do more nuanced things in another time for another project. But this is all we're using it for right now. Press OK. And that is chamfered. That is the front inner ring done. That's our first complete finished part. Save your work. Once that's saved and uploaded, we're going to open the back inner ring. And we can close the front inner ring. Saves us a little bit of RAM. So on the back inner ring, everything here looks right, apart from we haven't got the cutout here for the circuit board. So let's put that in. Right click, create sketch. Now, this is where we get a little bit nuanced. We're going to use that same center line here, and we don't need to actually draw one in because we've got the plane on there and we've got this edge here. So I'm going to do a rectangle from here down to here, and I can select my size for this. So I want the width to be 1.75 and the height should be 51.75 millimeters. That sounds really peculiar sizing, but this is measured out through a vernier caliper of measuring the circuit board. And then I want the height from the center. I'm going to use my dimension tool here of this part here. Zoom in to get the actual part. I'm going to put the dimension over here to be 25 point. Oh, the best way to do is actually, we know that it's 51.75 divided by 2. And these dimensions can do the calculations for you. And there you go, 25.875, nice and exact. So I now need 2 more rectangles, one for the switch and one for the speaker jack. So I'll get my rectangle tool and I'll just draw them out. I'm making sure not to stick to any nodes or any fixed geometry points, so I can move these as and when I need to. So my width should be 3.75 and my height for this one should be 9.5. And I'll do another one down here, R for rectangle tool, and this one's slightly bigger, 5.25 and a height of 12.25. And now I can dimension these. So I'll zoom in, this line to this line should be 5. And at the top here, this line to this line should be 14.5. And there we have it. I can finish that sketch. I can go to my extrude. I can select my 3 profiles and drag that through, press OK. And that was quite a simple way to make quite a complex and difficult shape. Let's save that work. And that is the back inner ring complete as well. So we now have 2 completed parts. Right. In the next video, we are going to work on getting that same unique shape we've just put in there into the back piece, and work on the front piece as well. Right. Good luck.